I was born in Winchester, Virginia, the second of 4 boys. We were a very close family, and one of the things we would do is always have breakfast together, have a big breakfast in the mornings before my dad went to work. And it was during one of the breakfast devotionals that we would have that I had a very distinct feeling of being lost and of not being able to fix myself. I was 11 at that time. And I told my dad about it, and so we prayed. I prayed to Jesus that he would save me from this desire to fix myself on my own, that I would rely on his work and what he's done to change me and to make me whole and to reconcile me with God. And my life changed. My life really did change. There were 2 verses I remember memorizing that were very impactful. 2 Corinthians 5:17 that says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come." And I realized that I was a new person in Christ, and that in Galatians 2:20 where it says, "I have been crucified with Christ and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me." This is what I reminded myself about, that I was now in Christ and I could live a new way. And this was realized mostly in my language. I had a significant problem with language, and also just being kind to my younger brothers, which I found very challenging. My dream when I was growing up was to fly fighter jets in the Air Force. I wanted to go to the Air Force Academy, and I very much remember the day my acceptance came in the mail. Just so excited. And before I went to the Air Force Academy, I went to a camp, a Summit Worldview Camp, and this was a place where I learned what I believe as a Christian. I learned how to defend my faith and got much more comfortable sharing my faith with others. As I went to college, I continued following Jesus, in particular serving in the Navigators and discipleship ministries and having many opportunities to share Christ with my friends. Also, while I was in college, I realized I'm really bad at flying airplanes, and so decided to pursue engineering instead. It was the Christmas when I was a junior, I came home and I met Carrie over the holidays, and Carrie and I had just a lot in common when it came to how we were living our lives in college, serving in collegiate ministry, and so we decided to get married after we graduated. We now have 3 kids, and we live in Fredericksburg, Virginia, where I work professionally in the industrial equipment industry, and we also serve in cross-cultural ministry both here and locally as well as throughout the world. Following Jesus for 30 years, one of the verses that I frequently consider is Romans 5:8, which says, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." Jesus didn't wait for me to fix my life. He invited me while I was a sinner, while I was rebellious, while I was purposefully trying to hurt others. And it's this love, it's this message that I enjoy sharing with others, and I hope that people see through the way I live my life. Jesus called me not to be a more moral person, but to experience his love and grace, and for him to transform me through that. A passage that has changed my life more than any other is from Ephesians 3, where Paul says that he prays that we'll be rooted and established in love and understand how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ. And to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that I might be filled to the measure of all fullness of God. This is the invitation of Jesus in John 3:16, that through his love, our lives can be transformed, that we can be made right with God. I know that I don't have as many answers that I thought I did when I was a teenager and an early Christian, but I know the person who does have those answers, and I hope that my life that I live is a reflection that makes me less and Jesus more.